Welcome back to the deep dive. Today, we're looking into something that promises that dream of easy passive income. We're talking about earning major crypto coins, Bitcoin, Ethereum, you name it, supposedly, without buying all that expensive, specialized hardware. The focus today, it's the C-Tool mobile application. It comes from a company called Crypto Company U. And our mission, really, is to cut through the marketing buzz. Can you actually mine Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, just by running what they call a pool miner contract on your phone? I mean, can a phone really do that heavy lifting?
It's an interesting question, yeah. And the scale they're operating at is, well, it's significant. Before we get into the user experience, let's quickly touch on this pool miner contract idea they claim to use. Essentially, the idea is your phone adds a tiny bit of computing power to a bigger pool, and you get a share of the rewards, theoretically. So what we're really examining is that gap, often a pretty big gap, between the promise and what users actually find.
Okay, let's unpack the data we have because, honestly, the surface numbers are kind of surprising. C-Tool has over 1 million ratings on Google Play. 1 million. And it averages a 4.7-star rating, which is high, across something like 72,000 reviews. And yes, our sources do confirm some users have managed to withdraw money. Small amounts, definitely. But it suggests something is working, right? At least on a basic level.
Right. Those small withdrawals are key. They show it's not immediately a complete fiction.
But if it works, even a little, why are we flagging it as high risk? What's the catch? Well, here's the first big operational snag. It totally undermines that whole passive income idea. Users consistently report the mining just stops, unless they go into the app and manually restart their miner every single day.
Yeah, that's weird, isn't it?
If it's software doing an automated task, why force a daily manual check-in? That doesn't make computational sense.
Exactly. That's a really critical point. It strongly suggests that daily click isn't a technical necessity for mining. Real mining rigs run 24/7. It feels much more like, an engagement metric, designed to get you back in the app daily. Maybe for ad views, maybe just to keep you hooked. Think less mining, more like those old mobile games requiring daily logins. That reliance on manual interaction. That's the first major signal the business model might not be purely about providing computing power.
Okay, so that feels a bit gamified, maybe. Not like serious tech.
It leans that way. And that leads us straight into the financial red flag. See, the app download is free, sure, but users find out pretty fast that the mining speed is incredibly slow. Like almost nothing, unless
you pay.
you pay. You pay for contracts or premium miners, upgrades, and that payment structure, needing to buy in for any real yield, that's where security firms really raise the alarm. They see a pattern that looks dangerously similar to known cloud mining scams.
Can you elaborate on that pattern? Why is paying for a contract in an app like this riskier than, say, paying for a known, legitimate cloud service?
Well, it really boils down to transparency, or the lack of it. In many of these high-risk app models, the money you pay for that contract, it might not actually be buying computing power at all.
So where do they go?
Often, the investments paid by newer users are actually what fund those small withdrawals we talked about earlier, the ones older users are making. It can become a bit like a Ponzi scheme structure.
Oh, okay.
So when an app promises high returns with no hardware and relies on people constantly buying in, well, these systems are really prone to collapse. Or they just freeze withdrawals suddenly. And then most users find they really struggle to get their initial investment back.
Customer support.
Usually slow.
Oh.
Or just unhelpful when things go wrong. That's a common complaint, too.
Okay, so let's try and synthesize this. On the pro side, you've got an easy interface. It supports multiple coins, which sounds good. But the cons, the mining speed, is basically negligible without paying. And paying introduces this huge systemic financial risk.
That sums it up pretty well, yeah. So our final verdict has to be a bit nuanced, I think. Look, C-Tool isn't necessarily a total scam in the sense that zero money ever comes out. Those tiny payouts exist for some. But it is, without a doubt, extremely high risk. It operates much more like one of these contract earning schemes, heavily reliant on investment and that daily interaction. It's not straightforward passive mining as advertised.
So if someone still wanted to try it,
the only relatively safe way to approach it, based on everything we're seeing, is purely as a low-stakes experiment. Use only money you are absolutely 100% prepared to lose. Don't expect significant returns. Anyone going in hoping for real passive wealth is almost certainly going to be disappointed. Very likely.
Right. That leaves us with a final thought for you, the listener, to really chew on. If traditional crypto mining, needs incredibly specialized, expensive hardware, massive amounts of electricity, huge infrastructure, millions of dollars sometimes. Then what is the real cost, or maybe what's the real product being sold, when a simple mobile app claims it can give you the same results for free or just for a small contract fee? That's the critical question. It's the one you really need to keep asking yourself whenever you evaluate any scheme promising easy profits in the crypto world.